With the conclusion of the version 2.4 live stream, it has been confirmed that Xiao will be making a rerun. So a lot of people have been waiting for him. So by watching this video, you will know whether you should be pulling for him or not, if you were deciding, of course. Now, for those who didn't know, Xiao is the only character in the game who can survive a plunge attack from any height and not take any damage. Xiao's elemental skill can be used in midair to travel faster. Xiao's base attack is the current highest in the game, making him a powerful main DPS, although his Anemo element does put him a little lower since he can't do any elemental reactions, and my Xiao is kinda stacked with the Staff of Homa here. But of course I have free-to-play options here, such as the Blackcliff Pull and light spender options such as the Deathmatch. Now for artifact set pieces for Xiao, they didn't announce any new artifact sets that could be tailor-made for Xiao, so as of now, up to 2.4, Xiao's best in slot artifact sets are 2-piece Viridescent Veneer and 2-piece Gladiator or Shiminawa. In terms of talents, you really want to focus on Xiao's normal attack and also his elemental burst, but you can also focus a little bit on his lemniscatic wind cycling, as that does quite a bit of damage and it also helps generate particles for your Xiao. Xiao's burst energy cost is quite expensive with a cost of 70, so you're going to need a animal support or battery such as Venti or Sucrose, because Xiao's elemental skill does not generate a lot of particles at all. Also, I forgot to mention that during Xiao's elemental burst duration, he loses HP every second, so you'll have to keep an eye out for that. Xiao's first passive talent basically increases his damage dealt during the duration of his elemental burst, increasing his DPS potential. His second passive talent basically increases the damage his elemental skill does the more you use it. And by the more I use it, I mean subsequent uses. So with the C0 Xiao, you have 2 stacks of this elemental skill, so you can use it twice, meaning the second dash will do a little more damage compared to the first. And Xiao's third and final passive talent decreases climbing stamina for your own party by 20%. In Xiao's constellations, if you are going for any constellations, his constellation 1 gives him an extra charge of his elemental skill, allowing him to do a little more damage and also generate more particles for his elemental burst. But still, you're going to need a support for your Xiao's elemental burst. His second constellation increases his energy recharge by 25% when he's not on the field, which is alright when you switch to an animal battery particles for Xiao to get his ult back faster. His fourth constellation increases his defense by 100% when Xiao's HP falls below 50%. People consider this one of the worst constellations for a 5-star in the game, but if you really think about it, it kind of helps because in Spiral Abyss you can't really heal if you don't have a healer, and once your HP falls below half, you're gonna need some extra protection, especially if you're using Staff of Homa. Now lastly, for Xiao's 6th const during the duration of his elemental burst, every time that Xiao plunges onto 2 or more enemies, he gains an extra charge of his elemental skill and allows him to constantly use it for the next 1 second, ignoring the cooldown. So you basically jump up and plunge and just spam your elemental skill, dashing left and right, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. So Xiao becomes 100 times more fun character to play at C6. But of course, this only applies for whales or people who have been saving for the past whole year probably just to dedicate all their primo gems to Xiao. So this is it for general review of Xiao, whether you should be pulling for him or not. His damage is pretty good, so there is a showcase coming after this. So if you want to stick around for the showcase, you can continue watching this video. But if you're just looking to know whether you should pull for Xiao or not, compared to Senhe, which we have no information on yet, Zhongli is a must-have character. His shield is tanky and it can help you make the game much easier. But if you already have Zhongli, then Xiao and Ganyu are both great choices. But if you're on mobile, I suggest Xiao because on mobile you can't really aim too well as Ganyu, and the same goes for PlayStation users because aiming with an analog stick is a bit troublesome. So Xiao is more platform friendly in terms of playability, and Ganyu is easier to use, but she is very boring. Now, what team comp should you be using for your Xiao? As you can see in my party right now, this is an okay team for Xiao, since Xiao being the main DPS and Venti being the battery for Xiao, and also crowd control to gather all the enemies into one place so that Xiao can finish them off easily. But Sucrose also works. Zhongli for shields so that Xiao doesn't get hit all the time when he's in his elemental burst. And for the fourth member, it could either be Bennett for more buff or Chi-Chi if you have her, because she's a great healer for Xia since her elemental skill does follow you everywhere, and since Xia will be jumping up and down plunging everywhere, you're gonna need a heal. Now, in terms of artifacts, I did mention that his best in slot artifacts are Viridescent Veneer and Gladiators, two-piece of both. So looking at my artifacts, they're not too good. They're subpar. They're pretty alright. They're not too good. And for my Xiao's weapon, I do have the Staff of Homa, which is the best polearm in the game, but I will do a showcase using the Blackcliff pole and also the Deathmatch.
Light it up! Here we go! Adventure time! Let's light it up! Let's light it up! Disappear! Worthless! 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 Worthless!
Now before I end this video, I'm going to attempt this Cryo Regisvine in a realistic rotation with Bennett and Zhongli and Venti. So let's see the damage. My Venti is using the Alley Flash at level 80 or 90, I can't even remember.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Useless! Evil conquering! Here! Worthless!
Now before I end this video, I'm gonna do one last showcase with a damage showcase team, and since Xiao's animal element can't be infused with the 4-piece Viridescent set, so I'm gonna be replacing it with Zhongli, whose shield can decrease the enemy's elemental resistance by 15%.
Decided by destiny! Everybody stand back! Disappear! Worthless! Here!
My Xiao can hit 60k, I swear.